So Courtney has lived in San Diego for almost 11 years now. I've almost been here for 10. So a lot has changed since we moved here to San Diego. In this video, we're gonna break down all the things you should know before moving to San Diego, because we actually have done this video in the past, but we thought an updated version of this is needed because a lot has changed in the last 10 years or so.
That's right. 2024 is definitely different
than previous years. And in this video, we're gonna break it down for you. It's gonna start right now. The first one on our list is highways. So we have a lot of highways here, and pretty much anywhere you need to go in San Diego, you have to jump on a freeway.
That's right. The first time I ever visited here, I was shocked that surface roads were not used as frequently as the freeway. And I thought, you're going to the grocery store, why are you getting on the highway?
Yes.
Freeway. You just do. It's quicker. It's faster. You get used to it.
Yes.
At first it seems strange, but then you get used to it.
Yeah, because we're both actually from the East Coast, and I was just back east for spring break. And every time we went somewhere, we pretty much never jumped on a freeway unless we were like going downtown.
No.
Just like a different way of life out here.
Yeah. And I would also mention that I think the freeways out here are very efficient. Like, I do think that they move very freely. If I was thinking about getting on I-95 every time I had to,
freeways are
every time
terrible.
I had to go to the grocery store, I would lose my mind. And I think that's why a lot of drivers on the East Coast, at least, avoid highways, is because they're congested. They're not as fully expanded. So you just have 2 lanes or 3 lanes. And out here, there's more room. And there you go.
It was slightly better planned than some of the older cities.
Yes,
just
well,
because,
it's newer,
and cars have changed over years compared to when we were built.
Right.
This brings me to number 2 is train travel. So train travel here in San Diego is not super available. And basically, if you live along the coast, you can go up and down the coast pretty easily from downtown San Diego up to Oceanside. You can even go up to LA. But it's not very efficient way to live here because, again, we have so many freeways here. Everything is pretty spread out here in San Diego.
California's huge. California's huge. You remember that.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, like I said, I was just back east for spring break, and we take the train from DC to Philly to New York. It makes it very easy. They also have a better subway system. We don't have a subway system.
Right.
Number one. We do have some trolleys that go up and down the coast. But like I said, if you are looking for a city that has great public transportation as far as trains goes, San Diego's probably not it.
No. Okay, next on the list is just the truth. The further east you go, the hotter it gets. And there really is a noticeable difference. If you are on the coast, it can be about 15 degrees cooler than when you just head inland.
Like Poway or Escondido.
20 miles maybe. It'll be like 80 degrees in Poway, right? And it'll be 65 at the beach. So that is not a falsehood. Very, very true.
This is kind of a two-parter too, is like, you're definitely gonna need AC in living in San Diego.
Yes.
I think maybe if you're right on the coast, like in Del Mar or Encinitas or on the beach, you might be able to get away without having air conditioning.
Yeah.
But for the most part, if you live anywhere, east of the 5, you're going to need air conditioning.
You're going to need it.
Now, if any real estate agent tells you you don't need air conditioning living in San Diego.
There are some alternatives. You can do a whole house fan, like an attic fan, which is very helpful. But I would still want AC, I would think. And when I first started looking at homes here, I thought I was mistaken. Seeing these homes built in the 80s that did not have AC. Homes built in 2000 that did not.
Our neighborhood was actually optional AC.
Yes,
Some of them actually don't have air conditioning.
I was shocked. I thought that was a mistake, and then I was informed. No, a bunch of the
maybe
houses
that has something to do with global warming. So maybe 20 years ago, 30 years ago,
it wasn't as hot.
You might not have needed as much. But in this day and age, I feel like, you also like it a balmy 60 degrees in your house at all times.
I want it like a really chilly morgue in there.
Yes, yes. She might not be living. I'm not sure.
It's true.
So yes, you'll need AC here in San Diego.
This kind of links back to when you were talking about transportation.
Yes.
This is a new thing. This is new even since we made our last things you need to know.
Like the last 2 to 3 years.
Yeah. 2024, 2023 specific is that so many kids, teenagers, young adults ride e-bikes to get everywhere. I thought that was just going to be specifically a coastal thing where you live in a coastal town and it's like, I can pop down to the beach on my e-bike. No, now it's kids going to school, kids going to college, kids going to work, kids, the teenagers, and younger.
I swear everyone has one now. Like,
Yes.
you see people pulling out of Westview High School. There's no cars. It's just e-bikes.
Yeah, it's tons
So-
of e-bikes.
I don't see a lot of scooters. I'm like, what? The people
I
are
know.
against scooters?
I think the e-bikes are faster. You
can also fit
possibly
2 kids
you
on a
can-
bike
Which
sometimes.
not that
sometimes,
you're supposed to, but
sometimes I see more than 2
3
kids on a bike.
3
so
kids on a bike sometimes. And I guess if you've got a heavy backpack, you can put that on the back of your
That's
bike
true.
as well. So the popularity of the e-bike is
skyrocketed.
it is insane. And it seems like every school year I see more and more of them at the schools.
Yeah, and so if you're thinking about getting your kid an e-bike, just teach them safety
Please
protocols because you hear about stories about people getting hurt on e-bikes.
Yeah.
Make sure people have helmets, all
That's
that sort of
right.
stuff.
There are currently no laws. Really,
lawless.
it is lawless. There's currently no laws dictating what age. I mean, I think there's a general guideline of like
High schoolish?
12.
Yeah.
I see kids that are as young
Yeah,
as 12
I know it's
on
true.
e-bikes. But it's not like you have to go to the DMV and get your e-bike license.
I feel like this is a PSA for e-bikes.
I sound like the crotchety old woman. It's like, get those e-bikes off my street. No,
Get it
I
off.
just want the kids to be safe.
Yes,
on their
for sure.
e-bikes, Yeah.
This one's just a housing market related thing. I just thought it was a good idea. So the hottest months here for San Diego, at least in the North County area, because most of the time that's where we work and do most of our business, is usually February through June. So it's not weather related like they are in some other parts of the country,
Right,
because
right.
sometimes people don't want to sell their house when it's a foot of snow out there.
Right.
We obviously don't get much snow here.
Right.
At all. They try to get ready for the next school year, so they don't want to sell like at Christmas time or the fall but it's usually the springtime. So February through June, that's when you'll see the most houses coming on the market, pretty much year after year. And if you're looking for a good deal, those are when the most people are trying to buy it as well. So you're usually not trying to get the best deal. So if you're looking for a good deal on houses, I would usually target like August, September, October as months to do it.
That's right.
But you're going to have usually less houses to choose from. So it's kind of a double-edged sword there.
Yeah.
So just keep that in mind if you're out there looking for a house here in San Diego.
Next, I'm going to say that it is very difficult to be cash positive on an investment property here
Correct.
in San Diego. It's just very expensive to buy a home here. I mean, the prices are holding steady and even increasing.
They're definitely increasing this past
So-
3 or 4 months or so.
For 2024, I would say, man, wished I'd bought that investment property 4 years ago.
Yes,
5 years ago. Woo!
But if you're trying to come into San Diego with like 20% down or 25% down, it's very, very difficult to have your
Right.
entire mortgage all
Covered.
payment covered.
Right.
If you're doing obviously all cash or 50% down, it can actually pencil out for you. But if you're looking for kind of that entry level investor, it's challenging to be able to find
That's true.
a cash positive rental property. But the increases in home prices go up probably a lot more than other parts of the country. So can you be more cash positive in other parts of the country? 100%.
Yeah.
But the amount it'll gain in equity
Right.
will usually be much higher. in San
Yes,
Diego.
and I will say there is a couple exceptions there, particularly a neighborhood in San Diego called North Park, where there is, housing shortages. So there's really a push for more construction. So a lot of these homes are now zoned for ADUs. So if you can afford to buy a home there that you can rent out, then you may have the opportunity to build 2, 3, or 4 additional units on that property. Obviously, you have to have the money to
Yep.
build those units, but then
Minor
think
details.
of minor details. It's just money, right? But then you could have all of that income. You'd have not 4, but 5 units that you would be drawing some monthly income.
Yeah,
from.
there are some rules about how many the lots to be a certain size, has to be
Right. You'd have to check. I mean, they're all
But San Diego's
zoned.
loosened their rules on ADUs quite a bit over the
Yes,
last few years.
yes.
So if you're looking to do that, you might have a good opportunity, especially that area around Balboa Park,
Yes.
Normal Heights, North Park, South Park,
Yep.
those sort of areas.
Exactly.
So if you're coming to San Diego or live in San Diego, you're probably expecting the summer months to be the hottest months of the year here. In my experience, at least over the last few years, that September and October tend to be the hottest months of the
those
year.
months.
Because if you come in the months of like May, June, you expect those months to be very good here. We actually get a little bit of gloominess during those. We get the little marine layer that comes in and sometimes breaks off by the end of the day or middle of the day, but not always. So I've had visitors come here in June and like, oh, this is gonna be great. You know,
Right.
we're getting
It's
out
our
of
summer vacation.
and they're like,
Go to
okay,
the
like,
beach.
where's the sunshine?
Yeah.
So if you're coming during those months, don't expect it to be perfect weather. But if you're coming here later in the summer or early fall, expect for a nice
Our
surprise.
hottest, yes, and best days to go to the beach.
For sure.
This little nugget of information is about the San Diego International Airport. International, and I kind
Yes,
of
this
laugh.
hasn't changed that much.
There are are some international flights, yes, but not as much as, say, flying out of Dallas or JFK or LAX. We don't have a ton of flights, and I believe it's because we only have one runway.
One runway.
One runway.
2 terminals.
2 terminals and 1 runway. So it really is.
I guess it just depends how many airplanes can go.
Exactly.
So.
Yeah. So keep that in mind. If you already live here and you're trying to book travel, always look at LAX as well. Yes, it is a 2-hour drive up the road, but there are, car services that just make that drive.
You could take the train
all day long. You could take the train, and you'll have tons more options and different price points flying out of LAX.
Next on our list is one that I just kind of added recently just because I was back east and I had a really good cheeseburger. I haven't really found a really good hamburger or cheeseburger here in San Diego. This might be a little bit, people are probably gonna get offended by this, so if you found a really good cheeseburger that you really like, please let me know. This also goes into effect like sandwiches, like an Italian hoagie, that sort of thing.
A hoagie.
Or cheesesteak, which there are a couple places, but it's hard to find, I guess, bread products that are as good as they are in other parts of the country.
Yes.
So if you found any of these ones, please put it in the comments below because I would really like to find one that I can compare to other parts of the country. Even Los Angeles has better burgers. Like
so you haven't found a burger that you like? You're not even talking about In-N-Out burger.
I'm not. In-N-Out burger is obviously very good hamburgers, but I'm saying like a locally owned place that has a good cheeseburger or hamburger. So if you found one, please let me know in the comments.
My next point was going to be how easy it is to get sunburn here.
Yes.
You don't really realize how much, if you've been living in Idaho or you've been living in Philadelphia or San Diego is so much further south.
Closer to the equator.
Closer to the equator. I don't know if people realize it all the time. And it is very sunny and the UV rays are really intense. So even into September, October, November, you're outside around Thanksgiving and you can still get
You can be outside for 15 minutes and get burnt.
Yes.
You also don't get like the cloud cover and like the really tall trees that give you shade all the time.
That's true. Forgot about the trees.
Because it's just, you don't really realize that, like, why am I getting sunburned all the time? And, like, it's just, like, I'm always white or red. That's it. There's no in between for me. Yeah. So load up on sunscreen because it's going to be an issue.
Hats, sunscreen,
all year round.
Sunglasses. Yes. Do it.
Another thing you might want to know about is that San Diego is the shark bite capital of California.
I hate that.
I know. I don't really like talking about that because I don't want to scare people about going to the ocean.
And the number is still very low.
It is. So over the last 100 years, we've had 20 shark bites encounters.
Unprovoked.
Unprovoked shark bites.
I didn't punch the shark.
So I guess this means if you punch the shark, then you
punch the shark, maybe.
I guess.
That's why you got bitten.
So just know that sharks are out there and, 99.99999% of the time, never gonna be an issue. But once every apparently 5 years,
99.999% of the time they are out there.
Yes,
you just don't.
They are out there. So if you're surfers, I'm sure you've probably seen a shark.
Boogie boarding, and they are there.
I told let's not scare everybody off going to the ocean here.
Don't look at any drone footage.
Don't go on Scott Fairchild's Instagram page because that's all he does is
don't look it up, guys. You'll never get in the water.
Del Mar Beach, yes. So just keep that in mind. Be aware, but they're just dogs of the sea.
Yes, but
that sometimes bite.
Dogs of the sea. Who calls them dogs of the sea?
They're friendly. I have to say they're friendly.
Manatees are the dogs of the sea, I believe.
I might
also listen to the lifeguards. If there's some kind of shark warning or they've said that there's been some spotted out there, maybe stay in closer to the coastline. If the lifeguards have a credible.
Yes, they tell you to get out. Yeah. So I thought this one was interesting. San Diego has produced the most MLB players per capita in all of the United States.
That's amazing.
So there's Dominican Republic has produced more, but as far as the United States goes, we have 2.88 per 100,000 people.
Per 100,000 people.
So almost 3 out of every 100,000 people.
Someone's not a whole person.
Goes into the...
Almost 3. Yeah. Almost 3 out of 100,000 people become an MLB player.
So you're telling me there's a chance for me.
Not for you.
3 out of every 100,000 people in San Diego will become a Major League Baseball player.
That's crazy.
Which is kind of crazy. We do have great weather all year round, so people can obviously play baseball more often. But San Diego is known for producing baseball players, which I thought
culture is very competitive
pretty
here.
Impressive.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So if you're looking to be your kid to be a baseball player, San Diego might be a good spot for you.
Yeah. New for 2024, newsflash.
This one's
It's
the worst.
nearly impossible to get homeowners insurance.
It's not impossible. You're just going to pay.
I said nearly.
Yeah, nearly.
I said nearly.
It's not. It's just going to probably triple what you used to pay probably 4 years ago.
Exactly.
My insurance when I first moved here, I think it was $1,200 for my house. Now we're paying $3,500 for
and they
insurance.
just spring that on
And
you.
I think they're going to go up even more in the coming years. State Farm just released this whole report saying they're going to be canceling over like 10,000 insurance.
Yes. Yeah.
In the city of San Diego.
And you can
The county
actually
of
go
San
on and see by zip code.
Yeah, which
how many
areas
have
are
been
going to be canceled.
Yeah.
So-
or how many homes in that area are
Yep.
going to be canceled. Obviously, it has a lot to do with how close you live to a canyon, to brush.
Mainly
space.
fire hazards.
Fire hazard, exactly. The fire hazard is a huge factor in determining how much your homeowner's insurance will be. But a lot of people are just saying it's increasingly difficult to even get a policy. So when you either are moving into a new home or if your current provider has dropped you, it's hard to get a policy.
And if you are buying a
new
house
property,
and you get
yeah.
an escrow, start looking for homeowners insurance right away.
Right away.
Because it could take you a good 2 to 3 weeks to get a policy in
Instantly,
place.
yes.
So
You may need to hire a broker, an insurance broker, to help you just put out all the feelers, find you the best price, because
it's challenging.
it's very challenging. Next on the list is just how hilly San Diego is, which I didn't really realize before moving here. I've heard people from out of town mention this, and I'm always reminded of this. Like, yeah, you're right. It is really hilly. I mean, I'm not talking like San Francisco
No.
hills, but
But it's just not flat. in
It's
general.
not
And
flat.
For some reason in my mind, I pictured San Diego to be flat beaches and just, I don't know why.
no, me too.
It
me
is
too.
very hilly. So if you're a mountain biker or a hiker, you're going to be
Right.
going up and down hills and
Yeah.
just. But the good thing about being, I mean, I don't think there's really a negative about having hills. It's just you get some really awesome, epic views here
I
in San
love
Diego.
that. A lot of homes
Yes.
with amazing views. Like, that's such a draw. And that can increase the price of your home.
Yeah, by like hundreds of thousands of dollars.
But I love how they do that. They build all these homes sort of terraced up the hillside, and you've got ocean views or you've got valley views. And yeah, something you don't find in a really flat area of topography.
Yeah, I thought that's a nice little feature of San Diego. And last but not least on our list of things to know before moving to San Diego are the sports teams here. I know we've talked about this in the past, but it has changed quite a bit over the last
2024, yeah.
year or two, actually. So we still only have one major league sports team out of the 4 major sports, which is the San Diego Padres. We lost the Chargers a few years back, but we gained a few new teams in recent
Yeah, we did.
years and future years coming up. So we have the San Diego Wave, which is the women's soccer team. We have the new San Diego Football Club, which is the men's MLS team that starts in 2025. We have the minor league Clippers team that's actually moving to Oceanside, which I am very excited about.
So that's happening. That's in the process.
That's in process. I think that's a
yeah.
year or two away, I believe. Or actually, maybe it's next season. I think it starts. We have the San Diego Legion. So again, we don't have a lot of major league sports teams, but it's starting to increase. And I've heard rumors that possibly might get another major league sports team, like a hockey or NBA team.
Oh.
Possibly, maybe over the next 5 or 10 years, something like that.
I would love that.
So-
I would love an NBA team. I think that would be really fun.
Yeah, because we had a team back in the 80s with the Clippers, but they moved a long time ago. And I think San Diego's changed enough that we could probably sustain a NBA team here.
I think so, too.
So that would be a very cool thing for San Diego, and I would be very excited about that as well. So that is our list of things to know about moving to San Diego. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it.
2024 edition.
For 2024 edition, maybe we'll do one of these once a year. Who knows?
Yeah.
If this is your first time to our channel, please subscribe to our channel. We post new videos each and every week. And if you're ever looking to buy or sell in San Diego, we'd love to help you out. Just call.
Just call.
Thanks for watching. Catch us next time.
Bye.